the language of the soul, literally. Tune in as our next guest explores how light language activations and multidimensional healing can awaken your soul gifts and elevate your purpose. Hi, and welcome to the U World Order Showcase podcast, where we feature life, health, and transformational coaches stepping up to be the change they seek in the world. I'm your host, Jill Hart, the Coach's Alchemist, on a mission to help coaches and entrepreneurs amplify their voice, monetize their mission, and get visible, leveraging podcasts and Substack. Today, we are chatting with Elizabeth Plancon. Elizabeth's mission is to help women manifest their dream life, dream relationships, and dream business by mastering their mind and breaking free of the negativity once and for all. Welcome to the show, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here today.
So, let me ask you the big question. Are you ready?
Yes.
What's the most significant thing, in your opinion, as individuals we can do to make an impact on how the world is going?
Oh, I love this question. And the biggest thing, in my opinion, which seems so simple, but really maybe not for most people, is just to send love to the world, to send love to other people, whether you know them or not. And it doesn't always have to be the same every day, but just feeling that love within you and almost energetically visualizing yourself sending it across the world. Almost like sometimes I like to envision blanketing the world in just like this beautiful golden light of just love and compassion, because really love is the highest frequency, right? And really, when we are acting out of fear, that is what's causing us to act in a certain way that maybe not be so higher vibrational and do unkind things to each other, right? And I truly believe that we are all connected as human beings energetically. And so it can be felt. And the more people that send love to the world, to each other, and help raise up their vibration, it will be felt. And then that will in turn make the world a better place, in my opinion.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. And there's a lot of studies that have been done around holding intentions for other people and how powerful it is just to send energy towards another being, whether it's a tree or a human, it doesn't actually really matter, but it's just the focused energy.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, that is the key to healing the world. I'm pretty sure you're right on target there.
Yeah, and and I'm sure you're aware of this study. I know one that I know off the top of my head was like in the 90s, I think, in Washington, D.C., where for like 3 months, a group of a couple hundred people came together and they did, meditation of sending love to the city of Washington, D.C.,
Mhm.
with the hopes of reducing crime. And after that 3 months, the crime actually reduced by 25%, which was like shocking because it was during the summertime months when usually crime rises.
Mhm.
So that, I mean, it's like scientifically proven that that intention, like you said, really does make a difference.
I have a personal experience around doing intentions. I was part of a group of 8 that Lynn McTaggart does during the COVID era, and I hosted one for almost a year. And we would get together every week and hold 2 intentions. And one of them, I had actually hit my thumb with a pneumatic nail gun, and the nail went in and hit my bone, the bone of my thumb, and it hurt so bad. And I had this little thing on it. I was just trying to protect it. I just like it hurt so bad. And so they did the intention for me. And after the intention, the pain was gone.
Oh, that's
It was
beautiful.
as though nothing had ever happened. And the
That's
only thing
powerful.
that changed was that 8 people or 7 other people had held the intention that my thumb would be healed. So, like I said, I have firsthand experience with intentions do work. And we had lots of other experiences, people wanting money to come in or things to happen to other people that for healing. And
That's
a lot of
beautiful.
times they either manifested right away, or it would be a couple of weeks down the line and they would report back that, yeah, that happened for me. So kind of. kind of interesting how powerful we are with our minds, but let's take it back to our souls in terms of how how knowing our purpose actually also feeds into raising the vibrations in the world.
Yeah, I think, finding your soul's purpose is so sometimes can be overwhelming, right? We think we are here for this big soul purpose to do these big things. And yes, we do all have, a quote unquote purpose, right? Of what we're here to do. And how is it that you can step up and serve to help others, to be of service of others? But I think first and foremost, it's important to recognize that as a soul, living this human experience, your number one purpose is to grow and to expand. And that is expanding your awareness, expanding, what it is that you are here to, maybe become better in or just experience in life. And so, doing the things that your soul came to do through expansion and growth is going to help you in your soul purpose. And then, when it comes to actually, quote unquote, soul purpose, like what am I here to do, like physically work and everything like that, by doing that, you're going to be living a more fulfilled life, which is then going to cause this ripple effect throughout the world because you're living in, your purpose, you're fulfilled, you're happy, you're joyous, right? You're putting off this vibrations, and basically people can see that, they can feel it when you walk into the room. They know that you're a person who is living in peace and joy and fulfillment, and it is contagious, right? It rubs off. So whether it's like you're doing something where you are actually helping someone and that's creating the ripple effect, or maybe it's not really directly helping someone, it doesn't matter. You're still helping others by being an example of someone who is living in their purpose with their full expression, right? Every single day, creating that raise in vibration and giving people not only sometimes the permission to do it for themselves, but like, because a lot of times we think we can't do these things we want to do. We can't leave a job that we've had for 30 years because, oh my gosh, what will people think, right? Or, what you went to school with or whatever it is. We're so worried about what everyone else thinks, but when you see someone else do it, you're like, wow, that's really possible. Like I can be fulfilled and, no longer have to do this thing over here that I hate, right? And that helps create awareness and a ripple effect of just being in this higher vibrational state.
Yeah, it's so important that we step into doing what we're here to do because it allows other people access to being able to pursue the things that are easy for them because they're here to do that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas for the longest time, we were trained to just, you have to check these boxes as you go through life. And if you don't go to college, there's something fundamentally wrong with you. And if you don't have children, there's something fundamentally wrong with you. And if you don't get married and, have a relationship and you never leave your husband because, that's going to make you a yucky person. And, it's just like all of these stigmas that have been put on people for so long. It's really refreshing to me to see people redefining how we are going to interact with each other, but how we're interacting with ourselves as well.
Yes, that's super powerful. And I so resonate with everything you just said because I mean, I grew up that way too. It wasn't, if you're going to college, it's what college are you going to, right? Like it
Mhm.
was just that's just what we did, an expectation. And like you said, that in our mindset, we get married, we have the kids, we have the job and all the things. And then realizing that you don't have to play by these rules anymore. You can do the thing that actually lights you up every single day.
Yeah, and it looks different for everybody. Some
Mhm.
people, college is a great thing for some people.
I
For
had a
other
blast.
people, yeah, for other people, it's like maybe not the direction that they want to go in or they need to go in. Maybe, working in a factory allows them to have enough of a lifestyle so that they can pursue the things that they really are interested in. And maybe they're an artist, but they just need to have a roof over their head. So they have, like, a job. Some people, their job defines them. Other people, their job is just a means to an end. And education's kind of the same way. some people are lifelong learners and going to college or not going to college isn't going to make any difference. And for other people, they're going to college so that they can get a skill, so that they can, get a certain kind of job that they think that they are interested
Right.
in pursuing. And it's just like eh, we're just redefining all of the have-tos in the world. And to me, that's a beautiful thing.
I would agree for sure. And yeah, I agree. There's nothing wrong with going to college, and yes, many jobs require it, right? And I'm glad I went. Like I said, I feel like college for me really just taught me independence and just, connection, being able to have those adult connections. I loved college. It was fun, but then I was over it and graduated a semester early because I was like, okay, on to the next thing. I was able to, right? But I so agree, like we're rewriting, especially for our kids, they still do promote, in the schools, like going to college, which is great. But I'm really teaching my kids too, like, well, if that's not for you, that's okay. You can choose a different path, and maybe it is going into the trades or something else, or, just being able to have a job that, like you said, pays the bills, but then they get to find their passions, their passion projects that they allow them to live in their full expression. But maybe they're not receiving a paycheck for, but that doesn't always have to be the case.
Yeah, and it's about having a life and not just working to live,
Hmm.
which I'm seeing it more and more with people. They're stepping up and saying, "Hey, this is what I want to do, and these are my boundaries." 20 years ago, boundaries really weren't a thing, but now that we're talking about, what am I willing to put up with? What do I enjoy? What am I willing to put up with? And where is my hard no?
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
and just knowing it for yourself allows you to make other decisions around, the people that you're going to spend time with, the kinds of careers that you'll pursue. And the younger that we teach our children and the people coming up these important aspects of social development, which is really kind of what it is, and soul development, because, for the longest time we just ignored the soul. You just like you're a mechanized being, then you should be expected to show up every day and give it your best for, I don't know, 10 hours a day, which is usually, we say we have a 40-hour work week, but I have never experienced that, and I'm reached 65 years of age. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I've been around the block a few times. It's just like there's we're changing the whole paradigm, and we're becoming more conscious of consciousness itself
For
rather
sure.
than trying to ignore everything and just say it's science and it's settled.
Right, right. And too,
Not a
yeah,
thing.
like the consciousness piece of it, right? And being connected and being not only connected to yourself, but other people, but in a way where, again, yes, like boundaries are important because I don't know about you, but growing up, it was like everything was by obligation, right?
Hmm.
Like every holiday, every whatever it was. And of course, I love spending time with my family, don't get me wrong, and my extended relatives,
Hmm.
but there was never a choice, right? Or just even like little activities, right? Like you're gonna do that because you're expected to, right? It's always that expectation of how to be a quote unquote decent human being. But like, what if you are just so depleted because it's becoming like a recovering people pleaser, right? So
Yeah.
when can you create these boundaries for yourself and, say with love, I'm just not willing to go do that today. And I don't, and instead of having to make an excuse like and lie about it, just say I'm unable to come and not even have to give that story and make up some reason that would be
Hmm.
good enough of an excuse to not come, right? That's something I've been working really hard on too with my boundaries and my family and friends and everything like that. If it's not something that like really lights me up and it's not really important, and I just don't have the energy to go, I will just simply decline with love. But I'm not going to lie and be like, well, I can't come because I have to go to this thing over here. Sorry. You know what I mean? So that's been really important for
Yeah.
me.
I like that you brought that up because so often we feel obligated to explain our no's.
Yes, yes, that's
No
huge. I
is
love how you put it.
no is a complete sentence.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, I love that. For sure.
And getting back to finding your soul's purpose, how would you say people can explore living in their soul purpose but making money doing it? Is that
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it can be difficult at first when you're searching for your soul's purpose. I remember when I first started to have the pull to do something else than I was currently doing, and I was like, okay, well, what is that going to be? I had no idea, totally lost. So I just honestly, I opened myself up to start exploring, start, figuring out what it is that I actually had an interest in. I didn't really have like hobbies per se that I really was passionate about. So allowing myself to like just open myself up to receive opportunities or awarenesses about different things to come in. And by just setting that attention, you will notice that certain things will pop up in your environment. Maybe a free class or a master class or some kind of workshop in your area that might be fun for you to do, or a new skill that you might want to learn. And for me, it was somehow I ended up in a Facebook group. It was more spiritual in sense, and someone was posting. I had asked like, "What am I supposed to do here now?" If I want to do something else, and someone was offering free soul purpose sessions, but it was like following the breadcrumbs, right? It was like one thing led to the next, and my purpose, my soul purpose, has evolved over the past 4 or 5 years since I've started on this journey. Each for me, like evolving and developing a new skill or a new awareness, becoming the life learner, right? Of learning new material and things like that. But really, for me, my biggest advice to people is to follow the thing that lights you up. Follow the things that excite you. Like, if that's like, oh, that sounds really fun, I want to do that, then go do that thing, right? Like, that's what you want to follow. You don't want to do things out of like, well, that sounds okay, and I probably could make money on that. So, yeah, I'm going to go over here and do that, right? You see the difference in that energy because
yeah.
the money will follow. I truly believe that we are always divinely supported and guided, and we'll always have the money that we need to survive, right? And of course we want to get to the point of thriving, right? But you do that by allowing in the things that light you up and follow that path of excitement, and that's going to help you kind of unfold into what your soul's purpose is and how you are here to grow and expand.
I have a story for you.
Yeah.
And it 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 has to do with something that I've I've become involved in. But it started out in 2023. I got involved in a $1 million experiment. It was about manifesting $1 million in a year. And that was in 2023 at the end of the year. And from November to December, new moon to new moon, I manifested $54,000. And so I set the intention in 24 that I was going to manifest $1 million in 1 year.
Hmm.
And we all know that you do all the stuff, you feel all the feels, and you own that piece. But it was a really big intention for me. And I continued to do the podcast and talking to coaches and sharing their message with the world because that is my mission. I'm here to help other people get visible. And in January of 2025, I was introduced to an AI arbitrage bot that does it's in kind of like an investment club, but it will allow me, it is allowing me to make $1 million in 1 year. From January to September, I will have accumulated over $1 million just doing this AI arbitrage thing. And it was simply because I was following my purpose, my sole
Hmm.
purpose, which is to shed the light on what all the coaches are doing in the world, because I think you guys are making a difference in the way the world is going. And that one of those coaches had reached out to me and said, "Hey, I found this thing. are you open to looking at it? And just the open to looking at it, if you're open to taking some chances, if and not necessarily this thing that I'm doing, but just in general in life, if you leave yourself open, opportunities are always coming to you to help you move in the direction that you need to be moving in.
Yeah, I love that you're sharing that because it's just evidence of kind of like supporting the idea that your income, the money that you need to survive in this world,
Mhm.
doesn't always necessarily have to come from the thing that is your passion, that is your purpose, right? So
Yeah.
you're living in your purpose, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and the universe is providing in this other way over here to support you in manifesting the money that you desire to bring in. So
Mhm.
it's really all like it's still connected in a way because it came through by you living in your purpose. So the money is always just like this byproduct of what you're when you're living in your soul's purpose and doing your soul's work.
Mhm. And you're becoming the person that when you need something, the universe knows it and the universe brings it. And
Mhm.
I had been burning out on the idea. I've sold things for most of my adult life, and I was really burned out on the idea of selling people stuff. I'm
Yeah.
good at it, but it does feel icky to me. So I wanted something that I could share with other people that was um could help them.
Mhm.
Didn't require like MLM type stuff because that I've been in a million MLMs and it's just like enough.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to be on that path. But I knew that, when sales is the only thing you know, that then you tend to fall back on that thing that you've been trained to do. So when this came along, it's like it has just been like so easy to share with people because it's pretty cool. But
Yeah.
I don't I don't have to sell them on it. I can just tell people about it, and if they're interested, they get more information. And I will put links down below in case you are interested in exploring it more. But it's whether people join, don't join, it just doesn't really matter to me. In the long run, I'm still going to be able to do what I'm doing, and I will still meet my goal.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. So it happens that way for other people too, though. I mean, I'm sure that has happened for you that you start leaning into the thing that goes easy for you, and then all the pieces seem to just kind of fall into place. Like it's kind of how you know you're on the right track.
Yeah, definitely. Like the opportunities come in that you weren't expecting out of nowhere, right? But it is about,
Mhm.
I think it is about being open to receiving. It's almost like the affirmation that, we use a lot. Like I'm open and ready to receive money, abundance, wealth, love, whatever from both expected and unexpected places, right? And
Mhm.
so allowing those opportunities in because sometimes we get so hyper focused, especially like if you're a business owner, I want to make this much money in my business every single month. And if I'm not making this much money, then I'm a failure and it's going wrong and all the things. And we're closing off the ability for the universe to bring you the abundance that it can bring you because you're like so focused on it has to come from here and pushing away any other possibility, right? And so when you
Mhm.
allow yourself to be open to all possibilities and let go and trust and know and surrender that, like, as long as you're living in your purpose, you're following your path, you're staying in alignment, not coming from a place of force, those opportunities are going to come in. And yes, it could be to help you excel in your business, like, a different, invitation to for some to collaborate with someone or something, for instance, that you would never have thought of. That could be another source of income if you're like a sole proprietor and focus that. But allowing that to come in is just another opportunity to bring in more, revenue streams or connections, right? There's so many limitless opportunities that can come in when you open yourself up to that.
It's kind of mind-boggling, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So how do you work with people? Is it one-on-one? Is it group coaching? Is it a program? How does all that look?
So my favorite way to work with people, honestly, is one-on-one because my work is so custom. It is not a cookie cutter, one size fits all. I
Mm.
don't have like a five-step like format to get you from A to Z or a blueprint, right? It really is depending on where you are in your journey. And so, sometimes I work with people that are already established in their businesses and we help them, excel or to reach their next level in income or whatever it is that they're doing. Or it's someone that knows that they have this deeper purpose, but their gifts have not completely developed yet. And I'm unlocking those for them. And so I love working with one-on-one people and I do, array of things from we do healings, clearing out all the stuff that no longer serves you. And then I do activations and light language activations. With my light language, I have the ability to activate you in your soul's purpose, activate your soul gifts. I've activated other people's light language actually before, and really allowing you to take those steps to reaching your next level. And I'm also a manifestation and mindset expert. I'm a co-author of an international best-selling book, Manifest with Purpose, certified manifestation and mindset coach. So we talk a lot about that, really getting your mindset in the right place, healing, somatics, energy, all of the things. I'm a channel, so I get a lot of intuitive, messages and guidance, channeling people's offers or what their next steps in. So that's why it's so custom with what I love to do. I do have a group option, which is, sometimes there's group calls and then other time you get those one-on-one calls. Because for me, it's still really important to have that one-on-one time and be able to have that intimate connection in case we need to do a deep healing or we're really just laser focused in on what you're doing in your life to get you there. And we need more time than 10-minute hot seat coaching, right? To do that
Right.
sometimes. So those are my two kind of like mentorship things. I also have a monthly membership called Radiance. And this is for someone that just wants to be in the energy, start to, kind of shift their energy, dabble in, or they're already established and they just really resonate with being in alignment in the container of a higher energy container. And in that monthly membership, I lead a Kundalini yoga class and teach you a new Kriya every single month to practice, which is a form of somatic energy healing and activation. I also do either a clearing or a light language activation every month. And today I actually ran one where I did both. I did a clearing and an activation. So it was so powerful and so beautiful. And then I have a hot seat coaching week as well in my container. So that's where you can get your guidance and your support and all the things that you need to help you in your journey. And again, this could be for anyone that really wants help about around manifestation, mindset, soul purpose, energy, and spirituality. Really just that spiritual mentorship. That's a lower cost membership.
I love that. So I just have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
And this is, it may be sort of outside of the scope of things, but I've come out of a religious background and there's a verse in the Bible about speaking the language of angels.
Mm.
Do you think that that's the same thing as light languages? Do you think that's what they were referring to?
I mean, that's a really good question, and I've never thought of it that way. It very much well could be that, right? I think the Bible sometimes is taken very literally, and a lot of it is to be taken as metaphorically, right? And interpreted in what speaks to you on a deeper level. But yes, I really do. I personally think that like light language is a channeled cosmic language that actually for my soul always had, right? It's just remembering and being able to channel those frequencies and those vibrations for those who experience it to help lift them and activate something within them that is almost like their human has suppressed it, right? And
Mhm.
don't get me wrong, being a human is beautiful. Like I think in the spiritual community we can this being a human very often and call it our meat suit and all the things, right? But in all, we all decided as souls to come here as humans, right? And to live this life. So embracing it, right? Embracing both being a human, but also becoming aware that you are this beautiful spiritual soul with this huge remembrance of power and gifts and all the things. And so I don't know if that answers your question, but I
It
do feel like
does.
it's a channel from the divine 100%.
And because it's tonalities, it's not, I know sometimes we say words, but they're not words in like the language that we would understand.
Right? Like we wouldn't be able
Well,
to be like, I said this. It's not like that.
it's not like that. It's like it's just you're channeling tones and um tones mostly.
Yes.
And we know that tones heal different parts of our bodies. And I do suspect that having these activations or having somebody pray light language over you, for a lack of a better way to put it, um, that it does get inculcated into your being,
Hmm.
the beings of anyone who's listening to it, and it does it has an effect on you, just like we were talking about intentions are powerful. They actually physically affect you. Whereas I think the same goes for light languages and these activations of um, certain pieces in your being that need to be activated in order for you to move to the next level or to raise your energy or your frequency.
Yes, definitely. I would agree with that. It's like tuning forks, but in the form of voice, right? And
Hmm.
it is a frequency, I believe, that you're emitting. You're kind of doing that, and
Hmm.
so many of us listen to healing frequencies. If we need,
Yeah.
or at night, or whatever, or the sound bowls. And my I love the analogy when it's like, okay, well, you believe in Wi-Fi, but you don't believe in frequency, right? It's the same thing, right? If that exists, so this it's a proven, like we've proven that frequency exists, right? Same
Yeah.
thing with tuning forks. You see how when you hit a tuning fork, what it does to a bowl of water, right? Well, hello, our body is made up of mostly water. So when you're hearing these different frequencies and tones, it's definitely having an effect on your actual, not only your human body, of course, and your soul, right? It's both and.
I think that's why speaking good over yourself
Mm.
and over children, it's really important. Um, it's the same as with water. When you speak over water, it changes the water. And when you talk to your plants positively, you can get them to grow and do things. It's the water. It's
Yeah.
the water is like the miracle thing that is making all these transactions happen in conjunction with the energy that's being exchanged. It's like it's so amazing to me. It's like it
It's
seems
a
like it's
really good
magic, but it's
reminder, though. That's a really good reminder for people. And I've heard it multiple times, but I forget often to speak into my water. And then you would take that in and you're changing your vibration, your frequency of your body. And it made me think like I have a plant over here for some reason in the other room that's not doing well. And now I'm going to go talk to the water and be like, please heal my plants and talk to the plant. What's wrong? Like, why are
Mhm.
you turning yellow? It's like all of a sudden, right? But that's such a great reminder that these things are real and you can really, with the intentions of your words, or in even with your spirit, right? Your energy, you can make a difference.
I healed a pear tree once.
Did you?
It
That's
was
awesome.
blighted, and I went and talked to it. I didn't want to put chemicals on it, and I told it, I don't want to put chemicals on you, and I want you to bloom, and I want you to have a really long life. You're a beautiful tree, and I love your fruit. And a few months later, the blight was all gone.
It's amazing. Did you do that like often or just once?
It was once really intensely, but every time it was in the back part of my yard, but every time I went back there, I talked to it and encouraged it and told it, you're doing good. I see the blight is going away and you're going to be strong and healthy and beautiful. And it really was not a very long time that the transition happened on that tree. I have lots of tree stories because I love trees. Um, the this other tree I transplanted from my son's house, he was tearing up a bunch of stuff and he didn't want this tree anymore. And it was a good sized tree. And I was like, well, I want that tree. So I brought it over and I stuck it in my yard with a lot of other trees, and I put it by these baby trees because I know that the bigger trees, they'll shoot nutrition over to the smaller trees. And so this tree, it had a bunch of leaves on it, and as days went by, the leaves were shriveling up, and I thought, oh, this is so sad. And I would go out and talk to it. Please, please live. Please live. And um, a couple weeks later, my husband was mowing the lawn, and I go around and edge stuff, and um, I'm out there by that tree, and I put my hand on the trunk of the tree, and I was almost going to pull it out, and I noticed there's all these little buds of new leaves.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
it had just is like, oh, and we were so excited. Even my husband was excited, and he doesn't really buy into all the mystical stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So we have so much power,
Hmm.
and it's really just about our frequency and our words, and and it has to do with the water. I truly believe that.
Yeah, it's so powerful. You're so right.
So I know you have activations for people that they can download on your website. You want to talk a little bit about those?
Yeah, so I have a bunch of free resources on my website. I have a free Kundalini activation for activating your intuition. So if you're new to Kundalini, I briefly explain what it is, why not to be afraid of it, and how to start using it. There's a very beginner friendly Kriya that you can start using. It's a practice that you would do every day. I also have a light language activation for finding your soul purpose. So if you're someone that's like, ready for something new, or I'm not really sure if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, this is really powerful for you to be able to just take in that vibration and trusting and knowing that it's doing the work, and it will begin to unfold. Like, but the opportunities or the awarenesses, the intuitive hits, those things will come into your being to help show you your soul purpose. And I actually also do have a manifestation checklist on there as well. I believe there is also a manifestation activation with that as well to help activate the thing that you're trying to manifest that's been really hard for you to manifest. So, activating that within you to be able to take the right steps, clear all the stuff out that's blocking you from those manifestations. So, there's 3 different freebies on there for you. You can try them all or one. I would love for you to check them out.
Awesome. And how can people find you?
You can find me at my website, which is just my name, elizabethplancon.com. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. All my handles are my name. Elizabeth Plancon is Plancon, even though it does not sound that way. But those are, the best ways to get a hold of me is either messaging me on Instagram or Facebook, or usually where I'm easier to reach.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Elizabeth. This has been a great conversation.
Yes, I've enjoyed it so much. Thank you again.
To learn more about Elizabeth and to get the free activations, please visit www.elizabethplancon.com, and we'll be sure to put those links in the show notes below. Thank you for tuning in with us today. If you have a podcast or are interested in starting one, be sure to reach out to us at support@heartlife.com. We love to help spiritual entrepreneurs and coaches amplify their voice, monetize their mission, and offer a variety of ways to do this on Substack. Join us for our next episode as we share what others are doing to raise the global frequency. And remember, change begins with you. You have all the power to change the world. Start today and get visible.